Way to go, baby boys. What's up, my dudes? What's up, my dudes? Welcome to stream. Hey, hi, how are you doing? Hey, yo. We're here to debate and insult conservatives. You know what I just didn't even think about? Hold on. I didn't even think about this. But we're here. We're live to debate. How are you guys? How's everyone doing? Hey. Hi. Hello. Yo. Good thing I didn't buy that MacBook. Because like a bunch of shit hit my account that I was not expecting. Whoo! Dodged a motherfucking bullet. I dodged a motherfucking bullet. I dodged a motherfucking bullet. What is up, my dudes? It's 8 p.m. on a Saturday? A Saturday. Yo, my days are not great. We're going to hang and debate and do some good stuff. Truthfully, that's what we got going down today. Real quick, let's go through our things. Yemi, Teacher Taylor, and V Sharp were the first ones in Twitch chat today. So how's it going, y'all? Thank you for being first here. Floam 0101. Thank you for resubscribing for 1 month to tier 1. Fuzzy Logic, thank you for resubscribing for 6 months to tier 1. You've been here for 6 months, so welcome. Marceline, darling, thank you for gifting one tier 1 sub. Thank you. What the fuck's a treasure train, Twitch? Big old Dave dude, thank you for resubscribing for 1 month at tier 1. And VHS Hal, thank you for resubscribing with Prime. Been here for 8 months. Welcome in, everybody. If you want to debate me, get Get your butt in here. 219-327-8005. That number, once again, for those wondering, is 219-327-8005. If and you want to debate. If and you don't want to debate, then go somewhere else. This ain't the stream for you. Because on this stream, we debate, motherfuckers. I'm actually gonna text Jimmy and tell him I'm live if he wants to join. But we are chilling here today, y'all. We already got calls coming into the queue. So callers, be prepared. Pillow is screening today, so let's get some W pillows in the chat. W pillow boy. Hey, welcome. If this is your first stream, how'd you find me? If this is your second stream, thanks for clicking on it again. If this is your third stream, I don't know what you're doing, go to bed. And if this is your fourth stream, well, you know what they say after 4 dates, hit that subscribe button. Especially if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and just hit that subscribe button for me. I hate to be this guy, but y'all don't understand how beneficial subscriptions are to a YouTube channel. Like, you really don't. You don't. Girlzilla, thank you for subscribing with Prime. By the way, we need to get our YouTube memberships back up there. So if you are a YouTube member, hit that shit, dog. Nobody's Nero, thank you for becoming a tier 1 member on YouTube. Tetsu Doms, thank you for the super chat. I'll read them all in just a little bit here on the show. We'll go through them super chats, baby boy. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to get the super chats to appear. Jimmy said use brackets. Ew, Google Lens. What the fuck is this? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Let's see what happens when we get some debates going. How are you guys? The world's on fire. How about yours? That's the way I like it. And I never get bored. Yo, if you want to support the stream, guys, there's a couple ways to do so. Subscriptions and gifted subs help on Twitch. YouTube memberships help out. Cash App and Venmo are there if you want to support the call-in line. Hopefully, I'm trying to create like a secondary pay app system for a mutual aid fund. So then, like, if you guys are like, well, I don't want to pay Jovan directly, I just want to put money into the mutual aid fund, you can do that. I think that would be good. I think that will be good. But yeah, if you want to debate, call in. Here's our topics for today. You know them, you love them. Trans men and women are men and women. No compelling external evidence for Christianity. Gender affirming care for minors. MAGA is a fascist movement. MAGA are uneducated and or bad people. And pro-choice all 9 months. It might even hit the point where I just keep this shit going. I still need to know the price of a Yoo-hoo to Venmo you money for one. For like a Yoo-hoo, they're like $2. Do you mind me asking your thoughts on Isaiah Martin? Isaiah's chill. I got no beef. No issues whatsoever. How much you want to bet it's going to be mostly trend? Well, I don't know what's taking. Pillow, what is going? Why is this first call taking so long? To screen. Yo, did y'all watch that Louis Theroux documentary? I haven't yet, but I've seen clips, and oh my god, the manosphere is fucking crazy. I heard U.S. is surrounding Cuba. Not only, this weekend, tomorrow, when we film The Dump, We will be joined by, oh my God, his name is Hakeem. He's a member of the Hands Off Cuba Coalition. We've worked with him before, and we're gonna interview him, so that you actually check the weekly dump this week, because we're gonna have a whole piece on Cuba and what's going on there and everything. I don't know that we'll invade Cuba. I think that would be a very big mistake on our part. Truly, I would just like to stop living in unprecedented times, you know? Hakeem isn't a YouTuber. I don't think it's the same Hakeem, to my knowledge. Okay, why is this call taking so long? We've lost another call. No, not Hakeem the caller. This is a totally different person. I mean, Trump be making mistakes left and right. No, dead ass. Y'all be shocked at that? Y'all be shocked that Trump be doing shit that's a mistake? LGBTQ plus has been a major downfall to American society. You guys just sound like the most fucking weak ass men I've ever heard when you say shit like that. You dead ass sound weak. Like, I don't know any way to phrase it other than that. Y'all sound weak as fuck when you say that shit. Yo, dead ass, dude. Like, you just sound weak. You sound weak-willed. Like, Jesus Christ. Someone said they hung up because they waited 7 minutes. God damn, 7 minutes? Oh, that was so long for you. So sorry my call screener didn't get to you so quickly. Wow. I'm glad, though. Who wants to fucking talk to impatient-ass motherfuckers? Do we already take the first call of the day? Rue, thank you for the Venmo. Have 2.5 yoo-hoos for your late birthday. Well, thank you. Thank you for the birthday yoo-hoos. Technically, it's my birthday month, right? Your birthday can last for the whole month. Well, we're gonna take the first call here, I guess. It should be interesting. Interesting. KKK. First up, coming onto the show, we have Lily. Lily would like to talk about gender affirming care for minors. Lily, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns. Okay. Now, Lily, I believe minors should get access to gender affirming care. Oops, sorry, people couldn't hear you. Guys, Lily, 22, she, her. Lily, I believe minors should be able to access gender affirming care. Do you disagree? And if so, why?
I do disagree because I don't believe they have the capabilities, is what I told the screener, of what it does to them and what their body goes through when they take it at a young age.
You don't believe they have the capabilities to do what?
Capabilities to understand what the hormones and stuff does to their body and what it does to their mind when they start taking it at a young age.
What does it do to their mind?
I've tried to do research on this before calling in, and it doesn't it like stunt their growth or something?
It stunts their
I've
growth.
told, and I've read that.
What is that? But I'm talking about the
I've
mind
been
specifically,
told
right?
and I've read that. Okay, well, and I believe it makes them think that they might be something they're not.
It makes them think they might be someone
If
they're not. Like they think they're like Horatio Magellan. Like what do you mean? It makes them think they're someone they're not.
like if a young boy around 7 years old starts taking hormone blockers and stuff, then or hormone blockers and HRT and stuff, then I believe that they might think that they're like a woman, and I'm having a hard time wrapping
They
my
might
head
think that
around,
they're a woman. And if this kid is
or
trans, and
that
then what?
with a girl.
If it is a trans kid, then what? Then wouldn't they be correct?
Honestly, I didn't think that far. If they're right, all more power to them. But I'm worried about what if they're wrong.
Okay, what percentage of kids regret their transition? Like what's the regret rate?
If I read it correctly and if I'm remembering correctly, isn't it like 20%, 15%, something like that?
No. Down. Go down.
Oh, based on your voice, it's way off.
Yeah.
Down.
Down.
Oh,
Down.
5%,
Down.
4%, something like that.
Down.
3.
There you go.
3% of people assume wrong, and they're not trans.
I wouldn't even say it's that they assume wrong. It's just 3% of people regret their transition for whatever reason it may be. Some of them regret their transition, but they're still trans, right? They just regret going through the transition process. But 3% is the regret rate.
So if they don't
As
go through
a
the transition process, what makes them trans?
well, you can be trans without transitioning. Trans doesn't mean transition.
Trans is short for transgender.
Correct.
And doesn't transgender mean you transitioned?
Nope. Being trans just means you have a gender identity that is opposite your sex assigned at birth. That's all.
So if a baby was born and they were assigned boy, and then they grew up and they didn't like the stereotypical boy stuff, so they started behaving more feminine, that would be a trans girl kid?
Well, I know I would just I would label them as a feminine boy for now. But if they grew up and said that their gender identity was not boy, well, now you have a trans kid.
Like they were insistent, consistent, and persistent that they were not a boy. They hated wearing pants. They liked wearing dresses and skirts, and they wanted to be a woman when they grew up. That would be a trans girl kid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you don't need to transition. Transitioning is a form of care that a lot of trans people go through, but you don't need to do any. A person is still trans no matter where on their transition journey they are. They're still trans.
Okay. But still doesn't answer my question. Why do you think they should be given like not HRT? Well, HRT is a part of it, but that's mostly like drugs and stuff, right? For like 12-year-olds, or are you thinking more in the mid-teens area?
So anyone who needs gender affirming care should be able to be given gender affirming care because it helps their overall well-being. It helps with mental health benefits. It helps with physiological health benefits. Like it's just a positive, like across the board. So I wouldn't see any reason of denying this form of care that's used to treat gender dysphoria.
Okay, what's gender dysphoria?
So I'm confused about something. You know that they have to be consistent, insistent, and persistent on their gender identity, but you don't know that the reason they have to be that is to get diagnosed with gender dysphoria?
No, I just assumed that if they're insistent, consistent, and persistent, then we help them do whatever that is, and they grow up to be whatever they want. I believe everyone should be able to do what they want and grow up to be whatever they want. But I
But the
didn't know that it was
phrasing
called gender.
insistent, consistent, and persistent is just from the diagnostic criteria in the DSM-5 for gender dysphoria. So it's just weird that you knew that phrase, but not where that phrase comes from.
Well, yeah, I don't know how to phrase it. I knew it was the. I'm rambling at this point. I knew it was the insistent, consistent, persistent. I didn't know where it came from, and that is my bad. I came across it during my own research, and it didn't click in my head that it
So
was.
I just want to be clear about something. I'm not trying to shame you. I'm not trying to shame you on this, but you've done research on this, but you didn't happen to just like Google what is gender dysphoria.
No, I was going to, but then you picked up my call. I was going to clarify what I thought it was, but then you picked up my call, and I figured I could ask you about it.
Okay, what do you think it is?
I think gender dysphoria is.
Yeah.
I'm assuming dysphoria means a bad thing, so something bad about the gender?
No. Gender dysphoria is just the immense amount of stress that a person would feel when their gender identity does not align with the phenotypic attributes of their sex. They would feel stress from that. That stress would be a dysphoria related to their gender. So gender dysphoria.
So it's stress from their gender not being what they want it to be.
Well, it's more about their phenotypic sexual attributes not aligning with their gender identity.
Okay, so it's their body not looking like they want it to.
I mean, in like super simple terms, you could label it that way. But like it's a bit more complicated than that.
Okay. I'm gonna try and put it in an example. So a baby is born and he is labeled boy at birth. He grows up, sees his junk, and really, really doesn't like it, wants it to go away, and is thinking of doing something to get rid of it, maybe? Is that close to it?
No.
Is that like, oh, then I have a misunderstanding.
So a kid is going to have no clue how to treat their dysphoria like off jump because they're not like doctors or anything, you know? So they're not really going to be walking around like saying like cut my dick off, right? Dysphoria the way dysphoria is treated is individualized. Some people only require social transitioning. Some people require no transitioning. Some people require medical transitioning. It's individualized. So it's like I can't really give you an answer on that because there's no one route that everybody takes.
Okay, so everyone's different.
Correct.
And we, as a society, need to accommodate their differences and help them be who they want to be. Is that what I'm picking up?
Essentially, yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm picking up. Is that what you're... Okay. Why is this so hard for me to understand? So a kid who was assigned boy at birth feels stress about his junk and how flat
it would be about a litany of things. So it'd be about the physical manifestation of his sexual characteristics. So whether that is a voice, you can feel dysphoric because his voice, or if it's a trans girl, she would feel dysphoric that her voice is deeper. She might feel dysphoric that she has a bit broader shoulders. She might feel dysphoric that she has a more defined, like masculine jawline. Like there's a litany of things that can cause dysphoria. She might feel dysphoric by the way that she's treated in society, right? She might be treated like a boy, and that exacerbates the dysphoria.
I didn't think it was. That's maybe stupid for me to admit, but I didn't think it was the way they were treated. I thought it was just the body stuff.
Nope. The way you're treated can exacerbate your dysphoria. That's why it's not treating.
Okay,
That's
so
why
if
treating dysphoria is not simply a medical process.
okay, so if say in this example, a girl is born, and they don't like the way they're treated. They're treated like being overly protective or like wearing dresses and stuff and playing with dolls. They don't like that. So in that case, would they transition to be a trans boy? Or am I
Huh?
understanding this thing correctly again? So if a girl is born
Uh
and
huh.
they don't like the way they're treated, like they
Uh
don't like
huh.
wearing makeup when they get older, or playing with dolls, or wearing dresses, or being
They might
protected
just
by
not. They might just
their
be a. They
family.
might just be a girl who doesn't like that stuff. You're forgetting that the key aspect here has to deal with their gender identity. So if their gender identity is girl and they just don't like feminine stuff, they're just not a feminine girl. If their gender identity is boy and they just don't like masculine stuff, they'd just be a boy that's not super masculine. They wouldn't be trans.
Oh, okay. I was conflating the two.
Why?
Oh, I I don't know. Honestly, the difference is so clear to me now. I don't. If someone's gender identity, if a boy is boy, is boy is boy. If a boy is born and they gender identity says you shouldn't be this way, your voice is too deep, your shoulders are too broad, your jawline is too square, you don't like this thing. You should, your gender is something else. And would that be gender dysphoria? And if it causes them stress and stuff, would that be gender dysphoria?
It would only cause them, it would only be gender dysphoria if their gender identity was the thing that was like the linchpin in the stress. So if the stress exists because their gender identity doesn't line up with their sex or their sexual features or anything like that, then yes. If it's not that, then no.
Okay, so there's a litany of different things that could cause what I'm saying. So
Uh-huh.
I'm confused
I-
again. Okay.
Okay, I feel like you'll need to okay, so here's what I think needs to happen personally. I think you're going to need to go back and listen to the call because I genuinely don't know how to be any clearer with it.
If I'm understanding correctly, you're saying the whole thing, everything I just said, everything we're talking about depends on gender identity.
Yes.
Okay. And if a person's
If
gender
your gender
identity
identity
matches
never
what?
misaligns with your sex, you're not going to feel gender dysphoric like because there's nothing to feel dysphoric about. As long as your sexual features line up with your gender identity or the way you're treated lines up with your gender identity, you're not going to feel dysphoric. That's why like some trans people don't feel gender dysphoric after they've undergone treatment because they might feel gender euphoria because they no longer feel the stress from the misalignment of the features.
Okay. So someone's gender identity doesn't align, causes dysphoria. Someone's gender identity does align, and it doesn't. Nothing happens. They don't feel anything. But if someone had dysphoria, but they changed it so it does align now, then it's euphoria, the opposite, right?
It can be euphoria, yes. That is something that can happen, yes.
Okay.
What is your
Uh,
gender, Lily?
I don't know anymore.
Okay.
I a while ago I thought I was a guy. I thought I was a man, and I was looking into transitions for minors basically. And it got me thinking about what I wanted for myself and what I wanted for my life and who I wanted to be. And now I'm not sure anymore.
When people refer to you
That's
as a
why
man, do you like the feeling that gives you, or do you dislike that feeling?
I cringed at it. So I'm
Has this
assuming it's a
been
good
a constant feeling for you, or is it something that's recently bubbled
thing.
over?
I'm trying to think of the earliest time this happened. Oh, well, when I was 7, before I moved up to where I am now, when my parents would call me a boy, I would get this itch, not a physical itch, but like an itch in the back of my brain,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't like it.
And you're being genuine with me right now.
I'm dead serious, honest, dead
Mm-hmm.
serious. I think another way to explain this, or a different example, would be that I've always wished I was different. And when I was around that age, I gave an example. I'd go outside at night and wish to be different on a star.
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid. It's a wish, stupid thing kids do. But I am being genuine right now. I don't know what I am or who I am at this current moment.
Okay, I'm going to
That's
make a
why I put
suggestion.
Lily. That's
I'm
why I
going to
put
make a
Sugar and
suggestion.
Try.
I'm going to make a big suggestion for you. This Thursday, okay, 2 p.m. Eastern, there's a show called Takis, the Transatlantic Call-In Show. Okay, this happens every Thursday. It's hosted by 2 trans hosts on a channel called The Line, which is a channel I work with. I genuinely think. Have you called into them before, or just The Line in general?
I have. I've called into The Line in general.
Okay.
Because my family is Christian, and I wanted to know if it was possible to be Christian. And
Yeah.
with
What I want you to do
Sure.
is I want you to call into Takis. If you're being 100% genuine with me, I want you to call into Takis. I'm not trans, right? I can walk you through the science behind sex and gender all day. I can walk you through the medical research on gender affirming care. I can do all of that until the cows come home. There's only so much in the conversation I can have up to, hey, I'm struggling with my gender and I'm not really sure where I'm leaning with that. If that's the case, right? Call into Takis, because those are actual trans individuals who can actually guide you through what you might be feeling from their own personal perspective.
Okay.
And as for gender affirming care,
But
just like pretty easy here. There's no research showing that it has overwhelmingly negative effects. All the research just shows it has net positives, even for youth.
okay, so for youth, if it's overwhelmingly positive, then it's most likely a good thing,
Yes.
right? I mean, there's some negative parts to it, but as long as the good outweigh the bad, it should be okay, right?
It is consistently shown to be a net positive.
Okay, well, then I'll do some more research on my end and try to. I was going to say convince myself, but that's not the right terminology. I'll try to change my views on how minors shouldn't be doing that.
All right.
Right
Lily.
now, I'm unsure because of the talk we had. I'm unsure, but I know I'm not a definite no anymore. So thank you
All
for
right.
that.
No problem. Thank you for calling in, and call Takis this Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay.
I will. Thank you. And
No problem.
You have a great day.
You too. All right. We try to. I gave benefit of the doubt. There were some things that were making me go, I don't know if I trust this caller, but I gave benefit of the doubt. If somebody seems genuine, I'm always going to responding in turn. Yo, 219-327-8005. We got a couple of people on the line, so we're going to get to them soon. Oh, especially one of them. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You know what? Let's just start with this. Let's just start with this one. Fuck it. Fuck it. It's about to get fucking crazy up in this bitch. Oh, I just got a name. All right. Let's just go. We're bringing up Mark. Hey, Mark, why are you slurring in my call screener? Why are you dropping slurs?
Oh, well, I don't think I did. I apologize, and it's a pleasure to actually speak to you. And,
I mean, Mark.
I meant to say number 5.
Mark.
I meant to say number 5. I apologize.
I'm just gonna keep it $1.50. I've not known Colin Studio to miswrite the phrase MAGA as the N-word. So it seems interesting that it took, when you said MAGA, it says Mark, N-words are uneducated and bad people. How do you pronounce MAGA? Maybe maybe it misheard you.
No, I said Mark. I'm being genuine and honest. I never said any of that.
Tell me exactly what you told, because you went through the auto screener. Tell me exactly what you told the auto screener.
I just said Mark, and then said MAGA, and I said number 4. That was it. And I mean that. You could check the tape right now if you'd like. I swear.
Well, Mark, it's interesting because the auto screen, that's not what the auto screener is saying. Are you saying AI lied to me?
I'm being genuine as all can be. It's not a joke at all. As a matter of fact, I was only calling for number 5, not number 4. I'm by myself and just smoking a cigar, and was excited to talk to you and think you're really smart and wanted to ask a question about 5 and make a statement about empathy. And that's not a joke at all. And I'd like you to check it.
Well, I'm just saying, color me surprised. You know, because
this is serious. I'm actually not joking. It feels a bit weird.
Well then, hold on. Give me
time.
Let me just take a look.
Make a statement.
Here.
My wife said there's nothing worse than proving your innocence, and I feel that at this moment.
Well, let's just take a look.
Play the call. I'll wait.
I actually don't know that I have the ability to play the auto screened calls. I don't know that those save. I know what the auto screen wrote. Like, I know what it wrote down.
I'll wait.
I have the...
If you can do it, I'll wait with you to play it for my voice. I'd be happy to do it. I'd actually appreciate it. That's how serious I am.
Well...
I'm actually shocked you said it. I would never say it, ever. Ever. That's not even where I'm... This is a bit odd, and I apologize for the oddity. It's not true.
You know, it just feels like a very interesting... Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to play back the call.
If you were in my position and telling the truth and something happened to you, how would you feel? It's exactly how I feel. And what could I do to change that? Number one,
Mark,
I don't want
Mark,
number 4.
Hold on, Mark. Whatever is whatever. I'm just trying to figure out how it transcribed MAGA to the N word with a hard R.
I said Mark, and then I said MAGA, and I said number 4, and I don't know how that.
Well, it says auto screen Mark. N words are uneducated and bad people.
No, MAGA. Maybe I said number and MAGA together. Like maybe I said, number 4 MAGA is uneducated and bad people. Because I said 4, and I meant to say 5, maybe. I really don't know. I'm actually extremely shocked and not embarrassed because I didn't say that, nor would I ever. I hope you believe me. I hope you could figure it out. That's troubling to me, and maybe an AI thing. I would never.
Well, Mark, I don't mind. I don't mind going into the call. I mean, first of all,
please do.
I can't believe that the the auto screener transcribed the M word with the hard R. Kind of crazy. I don't mind continuing with the call. Okay. I don't mind this. I don't mind believing you. Okay. Here at the start of the call.
Positive.
But we're going in. I'm going into this call with high skepticism, as I think you could understand.
Of course. I have empathy for you, cognitively for sure. And it seems like that wouldn't make a mistake. But I'm in that situation where it did. There's no question. And maybe my statement in question that hopefully I actually look up to you the way you speak and what you know, and I'm learning logical fallacies. I'm not that person at all. Full stop. It's actually hard to be blamed for something that I did not do. It's actually a little bit troubling.
Well, Mark,
and please check it, and you have my cell, and you could text me that I was right if you could listen to it. That'd be great. And put me on to say it, because I would never. Being totally honest. I can't. I wish you could play it with me on right now. I would sit right here.
Uh-huh. Well, Mark,
yes, sir. Number
what's
5.
What is your age and pronouns?
53 and he, him.
Okay. 53 and he, him.
Yes, sir.
And you wanted to debate on topic number 5. Mark, did you vote for Donald Trump?
I did not.
Okay. You did not vote for Donald Trump. Okay. Do you agree with point number 5 or no?
I do not.
Okay, and what is your reason why?
My simple reason why I was pretty excited I saw it because I want to ask. I have a worldview of empathy and trying to win people over in a way that allows them space to get out of something they're in, almost like a vigilante of shouldering it. Part of my family history, shouldering some things and being patient and waiting for people to see it themselves and using logic and being patient. I don't know if they're uneducated as a whole, and I don't know, and I would like to know what you would say on it. I think it's too much of a smearing of all, and we have to eventually find space for everyone, and I think that doesn't help, is my point. But I would like you to debate that and tell me what you meant by putting that up.
Yeah, I meant what it says. The MAGA are uneducated. They are policy and politics illiterate. And the ones who are literate on politics and policy are bad people because they support policies that overwhelmingly harm the majority of people.
And here's my answer to that. I have been fooled in my life and had to learn from you and the line and deconstruction with Justin and maybe some shout outs and some others recently, and had to read about fallacies. I feel like some of those people don't know specifically, and I'm trying to stay away from a grand old smearing of everyone. I don't know if they're bad. I think they just might be took, just like maybe I was.
So then they would be, well then Mark, they would be the first part of the prompt. They would be uneducated. There's no negative to being uneducated. You can always be educated. But the ones who get educated and stay in the MAGA camp, they're bad people.
Fair point. I come from an empathetic point of view, and I'm trying to allow what I've put up with for a very long time in this situation from 2016, and I'm looking for a positive view to it, trying not to say people are uneducated, but you make a good point. If you're just what you're saying is if you're definitionally just uneducated and then get educated, then that makes you bad, which then makes that true, where I'm looking to not say that, even though I might even believe it to a degree. I don't
sanitize down what I say just because it might upset people. So like, if you voted for Donald Trump, you voted for a fascist. Now you could have not you, I'm just saying in general. Now you could have uneducatedly voted for a fascist because you are policy illiterate. in which case I will have empathy as far as like you can become educated and get out of the MAGA camp. But if you are educated on policy and you still support him, well, then you're just supporting a fascist. So like, I have no empathy for you, right?
Well, what would you say? Yeah, you make a good point. I mean, that's I'm trying to get away from that, but that's just a logical statement. And then, what would be your answer to make it better and rise above? Not like a big grand answer of all.
Okay. Mark, this is where I can't answer that because they go low, I go lower. Unfortunately, Rise Above and me are not friends. I'm a petty motherfucker. You say something negative about me, I'm gonna insult your kid. That's just me. I can't help that. So Rise Above,
No,
I don't know. But I'm not Rise Above material.
I guess that bumps into my broken arm because I grew up with my father that came off a boat and all that kind of good stuff in a city, and I'm trying to learn how to not be a vigilante and try to win, and I'm getting through angry atheist phase and all that. I'm trying to do better.
I don't have the energy.
So I was just curious on your opinion.
Yeah, I don't have the energy anymore. I don't have the energy to try to coddle adults. You know what I mean? Like if you're an adult, like, and you're younger, I will say if you're like above the age of 60, I can understand a little bit more because you weren't raised in the age of the internet. But if you're an adult who was born between like 1980 and now, or like, I don't know how I can have empathy and like run with that when like a quick Google search is all you need to do. You know what I mean?
Well, what would you say about maybe some of the things you believe that were wrong? What would be the difference between? I'm sorry, I don't mean to conflate here, you or them. I'm saying, what would be some of the times in your life where you needed that? You know, like I said, the goal of this call was to just hear what you would say to.
Well, but hold on. There's different things here, right? I have empathy for people who like get scammed out of a bunch of money. I have empathy for people who like were products of the system and they're uneducated and blah blah blah. I don't have empathy for people who like vote for fascists. Right? I have empathy if somebody like makes a mistake in their life and that mistake hurts people, right? I have empathy for that because I'm firmly belief in like rehabilitation and restorative justice. That empathy gets like real thin when we're talking about voting for fascism, right? That empathy almost all but goes away because it's like you had access to all of the same information I had access to. You had access to all of the same videos of Donald Trump speaking that I had access to. You had access to these people admitting the stuff they want to do like I did, and you still voted for it. So like, I don't know what type of empathy I'm supposed to have for that person when my empathy and all of that energy should be saved for all the people who are going to get absolutely fucked over by the Trump administration. I don't have the time to now give empathy to the people that did the fucking over.
You're right, and you said something that just helped me a lot, and I appreciate it. Over 60, one of them clearly is, you know, family members, or a few of them, and I have to. I kind of like that you gave me a little bit of an out there. I'm not saying that you're I'm looking for a little bit of advice, and that was really kind of you to say.
I do have a request. I have a question from a friend in chat. Matt Dillahunty would like to know if he's banned you on his show before.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, he was just asking. He was just asking.
No,
so
please do.
I would respond to Matt.
Absolutely not. If anyone, because of the way it started, needs any more, I've deconstructed and teaching my children logic and enjoying my new understanding. I'm not afraid of hell. No, I'm sorry it started off that way. Again, it's really hard to prove your innocence. It's not easy. It didn't happen.
We're all good. We're all good. We're all good, Mark. That being said, it doesn't look like we have much of a disagreement now that we've clarified the topic.
Oh yeah, I was just curious. Yeah, thank you for your time and keep it up. You're fantastic to listen to, and I appreciate it. I watch it a lot.
No problem.
And I'm sorry
Mark.
it started off that way, but I didn't do anything to do it. And if you have my number and you want to bring me on to play the message, please do. I'd love to hear it with you.
All
I
good.
appreciate you, Jermon. I really thank you for your time.
No problem. Have a good rest of your day. Man, really wish the auto screener recorded. I guess I'm glad we didn't insta-ban. We were gonna just insta-ban him. We were gonna literally not even take the call. I was gonna insta-ban it because if y'all saw what I see on screen, oh boy, I was like, excuse me? Anyway. I don't even know what to what would you call that? Oh boy. AI over here trying to start a race war. No, deadass. The auto screener is trying to start a race war, bro. Let's read some super chats real quick before we get to the next calls. Okay. So we're just going to like burn through some of these super chats we have. There's only like 3 of them, so it should take like no time at all.
Hello, Super Chat. You get God Jovan back. I Pilgrim from Spooky Metalhead. I put in the request 3 link tree not to do. Oh no, wait, that's a different thing. No, that's the same thing. No, it's a different one. That's from yesterday. Here's the one from today. Wait. No, they're not updating. Yes, they are. Here it is. From Tetsu Doms. I think it's actually Tetsu de MS. Said, not a fan of pie, TBH, but I respect the occasion. Happy 3.14. I also don't like pie. Don't like pie. From God Sinner. Whoever wished we would live in interesting times needs redacted from Caracal. Caracal, thank you for the super chat. Snow Toothy. That had to stop listening to you at the gym. Can't really focus when falling off the machines laughing. LOL, smiley face, ROFL. From 4 video watching said empathy for evil is a luxury people can't afford. You know what? So true.
That was our super chats. Yo, that was our super chats. Thank you guys. Let's go ahead and take our next call. It should be a fun one here. Coming up next on the stream, we have Mikey. Mikey would like to talk about topic number 4, MAGA being a fascist movement. Mikey, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and your pronouns, please.
Hey, good afternoon. 25 pronouns, just he, him. Real quick, I gotta say, to be a fly on the wall of that call, I wish I could have heard what the actual screen was.
The world will never know, Mikey. Mikey,
one of the world's greatest mysteries now.
Before we begin, just some clarifying questions, Mikey. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Not in the most recent election, no.
Okay. Do you support Donald Trump?
I guess you would say, yeah, I'm like 70% there.
Okay, 70% there. Interesting. All right, Mikey, I believe MAGA is a fascist movement. Do you disagree? And if so, why?
Yeah, I would disagree. I think, like, the word fascism, it's kind of become like a buzzword for the left or people who maybe don't like Trump. I could see, looking at the definition, how maybe if you took like the most extreme blown up circumstances, how it could almost apply to it. But you know, I think if it was truly fascism at its core, not just it makes me feel this way, I mean, there's no way it would. There's no way.
So I'm going to vehemently disagree, Mikey. Especially the way I define fascism. I think based on like just the historical nature of fascism, It's pretty clear that the Trump administration meets like every criteria necessary, and MAGA, the movement as a whole, meets every criteria necessary. Um, so yeah. Just really quickly, hold on. I'm going to pause you 1 second. For chat, AI doesn't screen. It's just before they get to Pillow, there's a pre-recorded thing where they speak into it and it just dictates what they're saying. There's not like an AI screener. It's just writing down what they say. Anyway, Mikey, yeah, based on the way I would define fascism, MAGA absolutely meets the definition very easily.
So, forcible suppression of opposition. Has there been an example of that?
Well, I wouldn't put that in my. Well, I put that in my definition when we speak about like authoritarian fronts. But yes, I would say they've definitely.
I just
not
Googled
only
it,
attempted that, but like they have done that in cases.
I'll be totally straightforward with you. I Googled it, and the AI overview, that is one of the pillars.
That would be one of the tenets of fascism. So there's typically, we look at 14 characteristics of fascism, either written down by Lawrence Britt or Umberto Eco. I prefer Umberto Eco's a little bit. But yeah, the MAGA movement absolutely attempts the suppression of opposition. Now, pretty consistently.
Now, what do you mean suppressed? Do you mean just out against it, like, oh, it's fake news thing? I don't think there's actually been any serious I'm sorry.
You don't think the chairman of the FCC? You don't think the chairman of the FCC telling Disney or ABC to punish Jimmy Kimmel for talking bad about Trump isn't direct suppression of opposition? You don't think?
No, if they
you don't think you don't think the White House?
Then, yeah.
You don't think the White House or the Pentagon forcing news agencies to sign like allegiancy contract in order to report on Pentagon information isn't the suppression of opposition?
No. So I'll give you an example if you don't mind. Oh, did I lose you?
No, I was waiting for that example.
Oh, sorry, my connection's a little bad. Is a hot dog a sandwich, motherfucker?
Was that supposed to be? What was that supposed to be? The whole club is laughing right now, y'all. He waited like 30 minutes in the queue just to waste time. That was so funny. Anyway. Like what? Bro, what? Anyway, MAGA's absolutely fascist. Hey, if you are interested in debating and you have an actual debate, 219-327-8005 is the number. Call us. Call in. Especially if you're in Mensa. That's a inside joke for people who watched yesterday's stream. If you're a member of Mensa, you should definitely call in. Anyway. We don't have any other callers, so I did it. I beat every MAGA today. All of them. Someone in chat said, no debate, you shot Charlie Kirk. Who? I don't know who that is. So I didn't shoot anybody. Who is that? Also, I'm not a Democrat. What kind of weird shit? Jovan was just too scared to answer his question. What question? Is that a bit? Is that a joke? That's got to be a bit, right? It's got to be. That has to be a bit. It has to be. It's got to be a bit. Jovan's once again defeated all the MAGA. Always, bro. MAGA can't handle. Bro, y'all keep saying this name. I don't know who is Charlie Kirk. I don't know who that is. Just sounds like another person whose wife moved on from him. Like, you mean Andrew Wilson's not in the queue? Andrew Wilson's always in the queue, but you know what? We don't. You know he has to wait. Good catch. Think he was like a podcaster? I hope he didn't stick his neck out too far. Matt said, you should be saying, I don't know who that was. Matt, come join us. Come hop in the stream, Matt. Come get on your computer. I'm pretty sure you. I say that like me and you won't be live, guys. Me and Matt will be live tomorrow for the Sunday show over on the line. So if you are a fan of the Sunday show, you get me and Matt shenanigans tomorrow. Talk about all things Christianity and religion and God. I think one of my new framings, I like the way Dalton's been doing it lately, which is convince me to be Christian. I like that framing of the prompt. You convince me to follow your goddamn God. You can't do it. What is this shit? Sick ass content, my boy. Okay, we got a couple of people screening. Pillow, are you gonna screen any of these calls, or I see it just sitting there and there's four calls waiting to be screened. Miss you on TikTok. Ugh, can't stand that app anymore, man. Especially now that Oracle has it. Why am I scared to answer the question of hot dogs or sandwiches? Hot dogs or tacos, so. What games do you recommend as of late? Homie, I am locked into Pokopia. Locked the fuck in. I think Sunday show starts at 2 Eastern. So you should see me in You stream on multiple platforms? Yeah, homie. I am. Parker just said non-binary people don't have a gender. That's fucking crazy. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. Twitch is the best viewing experience. You get the full horizontal. All right, we got people screening right now, so we'll get some calls up soon. Tell me precisely what the difference is between a hot dog and a taco. You can't do it. They are functionally the same thing. Taco got cheese and lettuce. I've had plenty of hot dogs with cheese and lettuce on them. Well, I've not had hot dogs with lettuce on them. But I'm sure healthier people. I'm sure healthier people have had hot dogs with lettuce on them. But me? Nah, dog. Anyway, we got call screening and we'll take some of them soon. Chat, we are cooking with steam today, chat. Yeah, if you're not watching on Twitch, you're missing out. Just saying. It's just such a better vibe. Sauerkraut counts as lettuce? Holy shit, fucking true. Are people really paying for you for an argument? What? I mean, people pay me to yell at bigots and conservatives. That's been a fun time. Oh, true. Mods on Twitch are strict as fuck. They don't let shit fly. Twitch is the echo chamber. We've already lost a call. Pillow, pick up these screens, homie. Promise we're gonna get to everybody that calls in. You just gotta be patient. I see that nobody has been able to tell me why a hot dog is not a taco. Looks like I win again. No, Daddy, I love him. Will that earworm ever go away? Taco got taco seasoning. Come on, that's a really bad one. No tortilla. Tortilla is just bread. It's just the bread. Plus, you can absolutely eat a hot dog in a... If I put a hot dog inside of a tortilla, is it now not a hot dog? Exactly. It is still a hot dog. The primary meat of a taco is ground meat, where the primary meat of a hot dog is not ground meat. I'm sorry. A chicken taco now is not a taco because the chicken's not ground? Steak taco ain't a taco because the steak ain't ground? Y'all gotta get better at this. Y'all, we spend every day talking about schemas and categorization, and y'all can't categorize a hot dog? Ridiculous and churlish. Taco is a collection of ingredients. A hot dog is just the meat. Why are y'all eating boring ass hot dogs? That's not my fault. You eat a boring hot dog. All right, we got some calls. Ooh, a religion call. We love a good theism debate. Coming up to stream is Chris. Chris is calling to talk about topic number 2, there being no compelling external evidence for Christianity. Chris, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
I'm 39, and I am a man.
Okay, so what are your pronouns?
I said man.
Great, man's not a pronoun in the English language. Can you tell me what your pronouns are?
Well, I'm not.
Here, do me a favor.
sure
Do me a favor.
exactly
Do me a
what
favor. Ask me what my shoe size is. Go ahead.
What is your shoe size?
Nike. See how that wasn't an
Okay.
answer to the question you asked?
Well, I don't really care about what your shoe size is. Is it?
It was just to illustrate a point, Chris. So can you please provide me with your pronouns so we can continue on with the debate?
I'm a man. I don't know what you mean by pronouns.
You don't know what pronouns are? You're 39. Well, you claim to be
Well,
39.
I mean, I know pronouns is, you know, a distinction between whether or not somebody's a male or a female.
Do you genuinely not know what pronouns are as like a tool for grammar?
I mean, if I say I'm a male, I mean, isn't that a good enough answer?
Nope.
It's like, okay,
Because it's not an answer to the
it has
question
to
that I
be
asked.
it has to be specifically one thing or the other. Like it has to be the
Well, it
answer
has
that
to be an
you want.
answer.
Like, you
No, it
can't
just
make
has to be an
fit.
answer to the question I asked. My question wasn't what sex
I
are
think
you?
that is
My question was what is your
I think that
pronoun?
is as close to the answer as I can possibly provide to you. I don't know how much further to
It's
get to what you want me to say.
concerning to me that as a 39-year-old individual, the closest you can get to what is your pronoun is male. That's
Okay.
concerning.
I understand. I have never been asked what my pronouns are. I've never been asked. I work a full-time job.
Chris, I'm going to tell you something.
I got a family.
Chris, I'm just going to be so upfront with you.
Go ahead.
I've never been asked to do a mountain of cocaine, but I know what my answer would be if I was asked that question. It would be no. See how even though I've never been asked that question, I would still know what my answer might be?
Okay, so I'm a male. I'm a man. What more do you want?
An answer to the actual question, Chris. Here's the thing I want you to sort of understand. If I'm engaging in someone in a debate, and right off the bat, I ask them two questions, and they physically can't answer one of those questions, that does not lead me to a lot of confidence in the debate, Chris.
Okay, so I'm just wondering why me saying I'm a man isn't like enough. Like,
because it
from
does
my
not answer the question that I asked you.
That's just a distinction. It's just a form of distinction of whether or not somebody is male or female, and I'm simply stating that I'm a male.
It is, Chris, if you cannot in good faith answer the questions I asked you, then I have no reason to believe you'll be good faith for the remainder of our conversation here. A good faith answer to the question, what are your pronouns, would be saying the pronouns, but you're doing everything in your power, even though you're a 39-year-old man and you know what your pronouns are, you're doing everything in your power not to say them. Because off
Understand
rip,
this.
I assume
I'm
you think pronouns make you gay. You're
Understand
what?
this. I'm excellent at math, all right? I'm excellent at math.
Wonderful.
All right, but I've never been excellent at
Soccer
English.
is a sport. All
right,
soccer is a sport. I'm glad we can talk
somebody
about
was to
things
ask
that don't
me-
matter.
Understand that if somebody was to ask me what a preposition is, I know the word, but it doesn't mean I could actually tell you what a preposition is. If
So
you
you're
ask me
telling
what
me
a pronoun is, I've
you're
heard the
telling me
word
you
pronouns, but I
Okay, I'm sorry. You've heard the word pronouns. You've used a bunch of them in this conversation, but you don't know what they are.
is male not a pronoun?
No.
Then what is? What's my choices?
Sure, I could go over all 111 pronouns in the English language if you'd like.
111.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's impossible, but
Here, I'll ask the question super simply, Chris. There are, between YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram, there are a solid 1,100 to 1,200 people watching this conversation right now. When they refer to you in chat, should they refer to you as a he, a she, a they, or something else?
well, I'm a male, so I am a he.
There we go. We could have saved 5 minutes if you had just said that at the start, Chris.
So you're looking for a specific word.
Well, I'm looking for a word that would have been a pronoun, Chris. A word that would have been a pronoun, yeah. Any of them would have counted.
But you
and quite literally,
sit there and say, well,
any
this
of
person
them.
says they're a male, so they're a he.
Male isn't a pronoun. Male's not a pronoun.
This person admitted they were a male, so it's a he.
Chris, I know tons of males who don't use he, him pronouns. I don't assume. That's why, fun fact, that's why I did this really crazy thing, which was ask. Just.
Right, well, I'm not necessarily here to debate the, pronouns part. I mean, that's kind of weird to me, but.
Well, it's a question that's a rule for everyone that comes onto the stream. But go ahead with your question.
Just what's your issue with religion?
What is my issue with religion? Well, it's not true, for one. I tend to have an issue with things that are not true, that try to influence societal norms or decisions. Have a bit of an issue with that. Two, it's not true. So like 1 and 2, pretty similar. So I tend to not like things that are like fundamentally proven false through like historical or just like physics data. 3, I don't like untrue things. That sounds really close to 1 and 2, but I promise you it's different. And then 4, I just really do not like things that don't happen to be true.
Okay, so what's your evidence that it's not true?
I mean, I don't know why the burden is shifting here, right? I don't have to prove something is not true.
Okay.
I don't have to
I'm
prove
supposed to prove
something's
it to
not
you.
true. Yeah, I don't, there's no, the burden of evidence is not on me. I'm not making a claim that this thing is real, right? I don't have to, like, if I asked you to prove to me unicorns don't exist, that's functionally impossible. Because
But
anytime you
let me go ahead
said,
and
hey, like if you came in and said, hey, look, I scoured the whole earth and didn't find a unicorn, I could just say, well, yeah, he came in, he showed up on the island after you left the island. You see what I'm,
let me go ahead and start.
you get that?
All right. So, question is do you believe a lot of the stuff in the Bible is true?
I believe the bulk of the Bible is fictional. I believe that
The bulk of
places,
the Bible.
people, like things like that, are based on real world things, but like the stories of the Bible are primarily untrue stories.
Okay. All right. So, I know that archaeology has often rested on a lot of the historical items that are in the Bible, and they have found a lot of things that are just typically, I don't know, just very in awe. They have found quite a few archaeological discoveries thanks to the Bible. So the very fact that we're able to use the Bible to begin with,
As I
to
said,
find
I believe that
archaeological
people,
sites is beautiful.
I believe that people, places, things like that in the Bible are probably based on real people, places, and things. Because when people write stories, they tend to write around settings they know. If in 100 years from now, like let's say there's an apocalypse tomorrow, and then like I'll even go further. Let's say 1,000 years from now, I find a book about New York, and then like through archaeological finds, I find like a bodega. That's not me going, oh well, now there's a religion surrounding New York, right? It's just that people who are alive tend to write about the things they know.
Okay. So we had all these people throughout the history of the Bible, lasting throughout 6,000 years. Each one of them talking about a central figure and not contradiction with one another.
Oh, well, that's not true.
Whatsoever.
There's a lot of contradictions in, specifically if we're talking about the central figure in the story of Jesus, there are plenty of contradictions that exist throughout the Gospels, especially if you look at like John and like in the Synoptic Gospel, or the Synoptic Gospels of Mark, Matthew, and Luke. They contradict a bunch of shit in John because they're all written differently and
They actually
secondhand.
don't.
They do.
So I had a fella.
But again,
not too
just
long ago
Chris,
bring-
just I'm
bring
sorry,
a list of
hold on, Chris, just really
contradictions.
quickly. None of this is what I said, which is there's no compelling external evidence for Christianity. Anything you pull out of the Bible is internal evidence. There's no external.
So basically, historically, we've been able to match what's happened in the Bible to a lot of things in the world that we see today. One of the things that I think is pretty awesome was the flood. There is at one time a world flood that had covered the world. And according to the Bible, it was 40 days, 40 nights. Well, it was longer than that, but it was the rain part of it.
So
was
I
40
just
days
want
and
you to
40
know,
nights.
I just want you to know, there is zero, count them, zero credible evidence, okay, either archaeologically or geologically, that supports that there was at one time a flood that flooded the entirety of the earth.
Well, you see, that part I definitely can prove you wrong on, because there has been a lot of
Okay.
different archaeological sites from
Such
different
as?
religious aspects, including in China,
Okay.
that
Provide the
has
evidence.
talked about a worldwide flood that had happened, a devastating flood that happened.
Yeah. So hold
Uh,
on. Hold on.
so,
There's two. Hold on.
uh,
Hold on.
and I want to make it very clear
These
real
are,
quick. I want to make it very clear real
wait.
quick.
Chris. These are two different
Not
claims
even
here.
scientists
Chris, there are
uh,
two different
uh,
claims here.
tried to debunk that there was a flood.
Chris,
Go
yes,
ahead.
they have. There is quite literally zero evidence of a worldwide flood. There is evidence of large scale floods that happen different points throughout the world, which is why most cultures have some sort of tale of large flooding, because floods just happen, and people whose frame of reference of the world is so small, they think that flooding for them is flooding for everybody because their frame of reference is so small. But there is zero, and you have zero credible evidence that there was a flood that covered the entirety of the globe.
All right. So geologists, they agree that there was at one time a worldwide flood. So are you going to sit there and say those
No, they
geologists
don't.
are lying?
No, they do not.
Okay. So I could literally Google right now, does
Okay,
geologists
do it.
believe that there was a
Go ahead.
worldwide
Do
flood?
it. Do it.
And the very first sentence that I'm looking at right now is geologists generally agree that a worldwide flood, as described in religious texts, is physically, it has, excuse me, is physically
You
consistent
know
with this
what's
Earth's
fun?
geological
You know
record.
what's fun about AI overview? It tells you different things. So my AI overview, no, the overwhelmingly majority of geologists and scientists do not agree there was a worldwide global flood. So I tend to not use the AI overview. So can you point me to like a peer-reviewed geological paper that says we found evidence of this flooding? Can you point me to the academic literature that says we know that there was a global flood?
All right. So um, I know of several scientists, one of them being, well, I don't know if he was a scientist or not, but he was a geological uh, freak. Like, he loved geological stuff. Not really the guy, but a guy named Kent Hovind. He had actually made multiple
There's no
studies
way.
on it. I don't agree with everything that he
There's no way we did Kent Hovind,
states.
bro. I can't take a theist seriously if they bring up Kent Hovind. Just like Loki.
So I thought he had some compelling. I thought he had some compelling things, because, like, in the Book of Genesis, it does talk about that there is a firmament in between the heavens, or sorry, a firmament in between the waters. Firmament being air. So, uh, you know, Kent Hovind had this theory that the Earth is what one time covered in water. And
Whoa.
it's
Hold on,
non.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
It,
The
go
Earth
ahead,
being
go ahead,
one
go ahead,
point
stop me.
covered in water is not the thing that we're disagreeing here. Because most scientists will agree that at one point in the Earth's history, it was covered solely in water, right? We actually agree on this, but this was billions of years ago. This wasn't when the Bible claims it happened, which would have been what, 3,000 years ago is the claim, or I guess a
Well,
little over two,
the
a little
thing
under
was,
2,000. So like
well, the thing is,
we don't
actually, we're
disagree on
talking
that.
4,000 years.
We don't disagree
4,000
that
years
hold
is
on,
roughly.
I'm just pointing out we don't disagree that at one point all of the earth was covered in water. The disagreement is that there was a massive flood that happened at the exact same time that then flooded the earth after the earth was now land and water mixed, and two, that a man built a boat and put two of every animal on there, and that's how we kept animals alive. Both of those things would be in massive contention.
Okay, so there was a person that actually explained the ark pretty well. and stated at the time that it was very much possible. He had stated that he probably didn't get every single animal.
How many
But,
species of animals do you
um,
think existed at the same time as Noah? What do you think the species
Well, I
count
wouldn't
was?
have an answer because we didn't historically have any kind of records going on what species existed at that time.
How big of a boat do you think Noah would need?
Well, I did the research on this one time. I have a paper buried amongst other paperwork.
Hold on. You
know,
did.
it's
Oh, wait,
actually-
Chris. You just told me you have no idea how many species would have existed, but you were able to then do the research on how big the boat would need to be? How could you know how big the boat needs to be if you don't know how many species there were?
What I'm stating is that I at one time did the math of how big Noah's boat was.
But you'd be missing a
Um,
variable in doing that math. There's quite literally a variable you don't have an answer to, which is how many animals there were. So you can't possibly know how big the boat must be.
So basically what you're telling me is that I would have to figure out how many animals existed before I can figure out how big the boat needs to be. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
you'd have to know how much cargo is on the boat to know how big the boat must be. Yeah.
Okay.
If the flood happened as according to the Bible, which is being as tall as the flood going up to as tall as the tallest mountain in the world, right? No animal is surviving
I wanna
if
stop
that
you
flood
right
is
there.
40.
Please,
You're gonna
please let me stop you real quick. You stopped me several
please.
times. Let me stop you on that.
Please.
Understand something. All right. For a living, for my secular job, I deal with logistics. I deal with transporting objects. All right. I don't get to state I got so much. So let's see how big the trailers I need to bring in for these products. No, I got to find a way to fit so much into the trailers in which I'm provided.
Okay, Chris, if I called you to do logistics
And which I
and
do.
I said, Chris, I have products I need to ship, right? I got to ship some products. What would be the first fucking question you ask me? Let's say I'm shipping shoes. Chris, I got to ship shoes. I got a bunch of shoes that need shipping. What should be the very first question you ask me?
Okay, that's outside of logistics. That would be more over planning. So that would be more over how many items would you need?
Did you just say that wouldn't be logistics, that would be planning?
No, logistics don't plan for manufacturing. Logistics, they
I'm not
they
talking about
receive and they
manufacturing.
ship
I'm
it
talking
out.
about shipping. Logistics for shipping would be planning the shipping. Ain't no way you work in logistics, dog.
Okay. No, I do. I'm kind of. You never worked in shipping, have you?
I get it. You in a mailroom. I get it. If I
No,
told you I have a bunch of shoes, I have to ship them from Japan to the United States, what would be the first question you ask me?
If you have a bunch of shoes that you need to ship to Japan,
From Japan to the US, what would be the first question you ask me?
how many shoes are you
How
wanting me to
many
ship?
shoes? So you would know how big of a container
Okay.
you got to put those shoes in. You can't possibly know the answer to that without knowing how many. So no, we can't have any possible clue how big Noah's Ark must be without knowing if it is to be believed that he brought one of every animal, or I'm sorry, two of every animal. We need to know how many animals there were. Otherwise, we physically can't do the
Okay.
logistics.
So here's one thing that I do know. All right, concerning the Ark, I do know the Ark was bigger than a football field. I remember that much. It might have been as big as two. I can't remember.
All right, let's
All right.
let's do a quick
What
rundown.
we do know.
Do you think we could
What we do
fit
know.
two of every animal on the planet in 2 football fields.
Another thing that we do know is
Yes, we
that
buy that,
things
yeah.
that are built back then, things that are built back then are built differently than things are built today.
They're built
Things that were
different,
built
huh?
back then, they still last today. They still exist.
Oh, okay.
They're a lot tougher than we give credit for.
Then where's the ark?
The Ark? Well, they
Mhm.
believe they found the Ark.
Nobody
As of right
found
now, it's a
nobody's
political
found the ark.
nightmare.
Nobody's found the ark. Griff.
What?
You're being grifted. You're being grifted.
Okay. They believe they found the Ark, but it's a political nightmare to actually locate it. We're talking about an item that was 40 years ago that is probably buried under dirt right now. Have you
Chris,
not
you
seen
want to
the
know what's
documentary? Have
crazy?
you not seen the
You want to know what's
actual
crazy?
archaeological
Chris,
people
do you
looking
know
for
what?
it?
Do you want to know what's crazy? We know how big the ark was because it says in the Bible it would have been 300 cubits in length, 50 cubits in width, and 30 cubits in height. 300 cubits is about 450 feet. So it'd be 450 feet long. And then it would have been 75 feet in width and 45 feet in height. Do you think we can fit 2 of every animal on the globe in that much space?
I believe it's possible.
Just a
Especially
real quick. Are you a creationist or do you believe in the theory of evolution?
No, I believe that we are all created.
Okay.
I think
There
it's madness
are
to believe that we came from monkeys.
Okay. Let's not count fish or birds, even though we'd probably have to count birds because they would need to land at some point. So let's not count fish or birds. So not counting fish or birds, okay? Okay? This is going to be the fun part. Not counting fish or birds. There are a solid 1.5 million species on the planet.
Okay, do you think there's 1.5 million species on the planet 4,000 years ago?
There must have been because you don't believe in evolution. So where would these species have come from?
No, you wouldn't know because you weren't here 4,000 years ago. You just weren't here. None of us were.
Chris, if
None
you
of us
don't
were.
believe in
The only thing that we have
evolution,
to lean on-
Chris,
The only thing that we have to lean on is historical.
if you're a
archaeological
creationist, where did the animals come from then? Where did these species come from?
I'm depending on the oldest book that's ever existed.
Where did the species come from if evolution isn't real?
I 100% believe that each and every single species came from God.
So when did God create the animals? We know this because the Bible tells us.
Currently around 6,000 years ago.
And when was the flood?
4,000 years ago, roughly, give or take.
So that means every animal that exists had to have existed 6,000 years ago because God hasn't created new ones. He hasn't updated. He hasn't up. You don't. Where does it say God made new species? It doesn't anywhere. He made all of the animals in Genesis. Specifically, what was it? First day he made the heavens and the earth. Second day he made. Oh my God! What happened on each of the days in Genesis? Either way, if you don't believe in evolution, and the Bible doesn't say God updated with Animal Patch 1.3, added fucking lizards, right? Because Adam named all the animals, remember? So if God made the animals, this would have been on day, on day 6, he made land animals and humans. And there are at least 1 million confirmed species. That means all of those animals would have had to have been on the ark. Every single one of them.
You know what I believe in? I believe in adaptation to your surroundings. And I believe that certain animals have ended up in certain areas of the world a couple thousand years ago.
Evolution?
and has changed
Adaptation
how they
to
are.
your environment.
They've
So you do
adapted
believe in
to their
evolution.
surroundings.
So you believe in evolution.
Well, short term, yes, I do. On the short term spectrum, I don't
On the
believe
short term.
that we evolved from monkeys.
No,
I
no
think
one
that's
believes we
preposterous.
evolved
We've
from
not seen one
monkeys, so
second
that
evidence.
that would make sense. Nobody believes that.
Well, why were we being taught that in school?
We weren't. We were being taught that us and monkeys had a common ancestor, not that we
No, I was
evolved
taught
from
in school that
monkeys.
we were. No,
No, you
I was
weren't.
taught in school that we were.
Then you had a
born from
bad
monkeys.
teacher, Chris. What state are you from? What state did you grow up in?
Define from.
What state did you grow up in? What state did you go to elementary or middle or high school in?
You understand that this is a very difficult question because I've lived in 5 different states during my childhood.
Oh my God. When your teachers taught you that we evolved from monkeys, what state were you living in?
Oh gosh, that would have been between West Virginia, Ohio, and possibly California.
Okay, well, if it was West Virginia, then we got our answer. Now you think, just so
Right.
that I'm confirming, you think that evolution can happen short scale, but that it can't happen long scale. So species
Well, no, I
adapt,
believe that.
but they can't adapt
I
so
believe-
much over millions of years that they become other species.
I believe if we existed for millions of years and evolution was still going, then yeah, it would. But
So
I don't
evolution
believe
has a
this world
stopping
is
point.
millions of years old.
You don't believe it's million. How old is it?
I do believe that it is 6,000 years old, and that is according to the oldest book that's ever been recorded. The oldest book.
You think
that
the
exists
Bible
to
is the
this
oldest
day.
book?
I do believe so. Well, the books in it are the old part. It's not
You think
necessarily
you think that's
the Bible
that
put
I
together.
have a fucking E. Ooh,
Please tell me you
yikes.
understand what I'm trying to say. It's the books that are in the Bible that's been written, and before they were, what's that word? Translated into the language that we understand. That part of it
Yikes.
is what's old.
Ooh, yikes. No. We have
Now, I know you
translated
probably
text
think that
much
the world's
older.
millions are- No, we just think it's older. I don't believe that it is older. And the reason why I don't believe that
I
it is
get it.
older is
I
because
get
the
it.
evidence that they use, I don't believe is
get it.
sound because we have not existed millions of years to know that the processes that they use are actually sound science. And not just that, but there's a lot of variables that they don't configure in there, possibly even there being a flood that happened that could have caused a lot of those variables to happen
So
to begin with.
Chris's reason for not believing is because he just doesn't believe. What about the process of
What am I
dating?
supposed to not believe?
What about the process of dating do you call into question? Be specific. Don't be vague.
The process of dating,
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to.
So when
What do you
we
mean dating?
find like old things, how do we date those old things? How do we know when they were created?
I know what they say. I know what they claim is carbon dating.
Oh, yeah. So radiocarbon dating, that would
But-
be one way,
but
but you
what I'm
don't believe
stating-
in
what I'm simply
radiocarbon
stating-
dating.
What I'm simply stating is that we haven't existed long enough to know if it actually works the way that they think it works.
And how do you what's your
And-
proof of that? You don't have any. I don't
There's
even know
no
why I
proof
asked.
either way. There's no
Duh.
proof that it works, and there's no proof that it doesn't work.
There's no proof that it works. How does carbon dating work?
They use a complex system of mathematical variables, but the problem is there's too many variables that can get in the way of that.
No, they don't. It's not complex at all. It's actually really fucking simple how carbon dating works.
Go ahead and make your attempt because when I looked into it, it talked about. Oh gosh, that was 12 years ago.
What
when I
do
was
they
back
look
into
at?
this.
What do they look at with carbon dating? What are they looking at specifically? to get their information.
Some kind of chemical change. Some kind of chemical change, if I remember correctly.
I
This
mean,
is something we're talking 12 years ago that I looked at.
literally everything is a chemical change. That could not be more vague, Chris. Let me walk you through it. So there's this thing
Go ahead.
called carbon-14. Okay? Now this is going to be very basic. Carbon-14 is emitted by literally, or not emitted, it's absorbed by every living thing, whether it be a plant, whether it be an animal, whether it be a human, whether it be an insect. Everything takes in carbon. Now, when people die, or when these creatures die, or where a plant dies, that carbon-14 starts to decay. And we know the rate of that decay. We know how long it takes carbon-14 to decay. We know what the half-life is. The half-life, yes, we do. Yes, we do know what the half-life of carbon is. It's 5,730 years. That is the half-life of a carbon-14 atom.
5,000 and so many years?
We don't have to, because we can do math. So like, and let me just, this will be real good for you. If I know that it takes me 100 feet to walk from my house to the store, or we'll go even bigger. Let's say it takes 10 miles to walk from my house to the store, right? And I walk 2 of those miles. I don't have to walk the other 8 to know that there's still 8 miles left, right? Because now let's go a step further. Let's say I want to know how fast I'll get to the store. Let's say it's a mile to the store. Or you know what? We'll stick with 10. Let's say it's 10 miles to the store and I'm walking 1 mile an hour. Okay? I'm going super slow. I'm doing just 1 mile an hour. Okay? And let's say I get 2 hours in. Right? I've gone 2 miles. And let's say I keep that pace the entirety of the time. I keep the same pace. Can we guess when I'll get to the store because we've seen the pace that I've done so far?
I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Go ahead.
Right.
Keep going.
So if we look at carbon,
battle when you're ready.
If we look at carbon and we look at it in the short term and we see how much it decays over for say 5 years, can we then extrapolate out using basic math how much it will decay in 10 years?
It's possible.
100 years?
It's possible.
It's possible, or it's like literally just basic math?
When you're ready, I'm ready to rebuttal.
Oh, please. I can't wait for the rebuttal.
Okay, so 10 miles, you say, right? You're walking. You gone 2 miles, and you saw that going 2 miles took 10 minutes to walk those 2 miles. So now you can speculate, so many distance. By the miles, it's going to take me this much time to get there. And you can make that guess. Yes, you can. But then a variable shows up. Somebody comes in a car, hop on in, and drives you the rest of the way.
Can you point me to one variable that happens within carbon decay?
Here,
can you point me to one? Can you point me to one variable that happens in carbon decay?
What happened here is you got there a lot sooner than you thought you were going to.
Can you point to me one variable that happens in carbon decay?
There is possible infinite amount of variables that exist.
Can you point to one?
That could have.
Can you point to one?
Have existed.
Can you
I'm
point
not
to
the
one?
scientist here.
You know what?
Right.
You know what? You're right. You're not a scientist on this. You're not. So that's interesting. Would you like to speak to an evolutionary biologist? Because I have one waiting in the wings who will gladly talk to you right now.
I don't talk to more than one person.
I won't say a word. I won't say a word.
Planned by 2 different people is unfair.
Chris, I will shut up. I will shut up completely. I'm asking you if you would like to talk. You specifically, not me, not anybody else, but if you would like to talk to an evolutionary biologist on whether or not carbon dating or evolution is true. Again,
Well,
I'm not
I'd
going to
rather
say a
not.
word.
I'd
Interesting.
rather not because.
Interesting.
Well, no,
You don't want
it's
to.
not even that. Like, I'm not scared to. It's just, moreover, I already know that they're going to repeat exactly what you said. Why should I have to
Well,
listen to
because
another
they
person
have
say it?
because they have degrees in these subjects. Like
Oh, I
literal
100% understand.
literal degrees.
All
You
right, my
don't want
doc.
to talk to
I've
someone with a
seen
degree
doctors.
in evolutionary
I've
biology, but
I've
you
dealt with
disagree with
doctors
it.
who have degrees in medical science, but does it mean that they're going to be able to cure any illness that I'm dealing with? You understand? We're just practicing in this world. We don't know everything. We don't know anything.
Chris,
We
what it
think we
sounds
do.
like is the minute
It
an
is.
expert in the field, is ready to come in here, you got scared. That's what it sounds like just happened.
Okay, you're not going to use fear tactics against me. That's perfectly fine that you think that I'm scared. I'm not going to sit there and try to defend myself one way or the other, whether or not I'm scared.
Chris, I have limited knowledge on evolutionary biology and on carbon dating, but I have someone that has immense knowledge
I
on
also
evolutionary
do
biology
have
and
limited
carbon
knowledge.
dating.
I also
So
do have
then
limited
what I
knowledge on
think
that.
would be best then here, right? If we both have limited knowledge, what I think would work the best is if we brought in an expert on evolutionary biology, right? Because we have limited
Let me ask you a
knowledge.
question real quick. Let me ask you a question. Are you okay with other people believing in God?
Am I okay with it? And like what? I don't think we should make it
Yeah.
illegal, but I think it's silly.
You think it's silly? So, like, if I
Yes.
practice religion, do you consider me silly?
Yes, I think
Do you
speaking
consider me
to
wrong?
I think speaking to the fictional man in the sky is kind of silly. Yeah. Would I consider you wrong?
Okay,
Yes, I
so
think you believe in a fiction. So yes, I think you're wrong.
I mean, I could say the same about your conceivedness of believing that there are over 1,000 different genders, but
Have I ever
you have the
once
right
said
to
there's
believe that.
1,000 genders, Chris?
You did not too long
No,
ago.
I said there were 100 different pronouns in the English language, and I can list them all if you don't believe
Pronouns.
me.
Sorry.
If you don't believe me, I can
Like I
list
told you
all of
before, I'm not
them.
real good with English.
I can list every single one if you don't believe me.
So I don't think that you could actually list over 1,000 genders.
Neither do I, because I don't believe in 1,000 genders. But what I do believe in, okay, what I do believe in is quite simply hold on, I'm trying to fix this really quick. What I do believe in is 100 different pronouns. That
Do you believe that God? Do you believe God is evil,
can't.
or people that believe in God is evil?
Do I believe God is evil? I believe the Christian God is evil 100%.
Do you believe the Christian God is evil?
Yeah, he's done like really fucked up shit.
I thought you said you didn't believe in him.
Yeah, I also think Voldemort's evil, and I don't think Voldemort's a real person, right? Like fictional beings can be evil.
So you think God described in the Bible as evil?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're referring to the times in which people got, unalived during war.
Or more so the time where he was like, y'all can own slaves. That was pretty fucked up. Or when he told Moses to go kill all the Midianites. And then when Moses' armies came back with him, he said, well, now take all the virgin girls and split them up amongst yourselves. That was pretty fucked up. Or when he told slave owners that it's okay that they beat their slaves as long as their slaves don't die. That was pretty fucked up.
I'm pretty sure
or when he told a dude to kill his own son, that was kind of fucked up. Or when he let Satan fucking kill all of Job's kids, that was fucked up. He's done a lot of fucked up shit. Or just creating suffering, kind of fucked up.
Well, you didn't create the suffering part. We did.
God created everything.
That's our fault.
There's nothing in this universe that exists outside of God's will. So put that in your book.
No. We are not. We have free will.
There
We have
is
a right to
nothing.
decide to do whatever we want to do.
There's nothing that
God does not
exists.
control that.
There's nothing that exists
God
in
does
this
not control
universe.
what people do.
There's nothing that exists in this universe that was not. And I will repeat that. Let me say it again one more time. There's not a thing in this universe that was created that was not created by God. Not a
God
thing. That
created the whole
includes
universe.
exactly. So he created suffering because there's not a thing in this world that was created that was not created by God. He created all of it. All of it.
He did create the concept of suffering. I will agree with you on that. But God is not the cause of it.
Yeah, of course he created suffering. If he created everything and he created suffering, then he's the cause of suffering.
So if I decided to, I don't even like to think of me deciding to do anything bad. Oh gosh, let's see here. Let's say if I'm going to go ahead and use somebody, I'm not saying that this is true. So please don't take it that way. Let's say he takes Obama and decides that let's say Obama decides to kidnap a woman. I don't know if there's a cleaner word for kidnap. I apologize. And make her suffer. That's not Obama that did that?
No, that would be God
You
creating
think God
the ability
created all
for
that?
suffering. God created the ability for suffering in the first place.
So God gave Obama free will for that particular moment.
Let me
And
just
the very fact that Obama used
wait. It's real simple.
the
It's
very
real
fact that
simple. It's real
Obama used
simple.
that free will
It's
to
really
make somebody
simple.
suffer is God's
Wait,
fault.
it's really simple. Why does God care more about Obama's free will over the suffering of the woman?
Well, I believe simply because God understands life a lot more differently than we do. This life that we're living is a temporary fracture compared to eternity. When we die,
That
we
didn't
don't
answer a
die.
single question I
We
asked you.
simply get transformed.
That didn't answer a single question I asked you. Why does God care more about the free will of Obama in this instance than he would of the woman that's suffering? Why does he care more about like let's say I'm sure you let me ask you a question. Let's say you were walking down an alley. Okay? You personally, you yourself were walking down an alley. Okay? And you get to this alley. All right? Let's say you get to this alleyway and you see a woman getting raped. Okay? And you have the full ability to stop it from happening. Right? You could very easily stop this rape from happening. Okay?
Yep,
You would do it, right?
I would.
Yeah, of course you would. Nobody, like, why wouldn't you? Okay? How come God doesn't? How come God sees women getting raped daily and he don't do shit about it?
I'm 100% sure that God is up in heaven angry, furious. Wouldn't just start Armageddon right away. He looks
You
down, he
think-
looks at it and says, "I want to do it, but I'm waiting a little bit longer."
Okay, hold on. I'm just confirming here. You think
Go ahead.
God is up in heaven going, I will eventually I'll help all the rape victims. Just not while
God
they're being raped.
eventually is going to set everything right. God
Not while
eventually
they're-
will
but
set
not while
everything
they're-
right.
Not while they're being raped, though. Fuck them while they're getting raped.
Well, we do This is bad in the eyes of God as that
Oh.
racist.
It's bad in the eyes of God.
Anytime you tell a lie, and the Bible does say that lying is an abomination, every time you tell a lie, that's as bad as raping somebody. To God.
Okay, well,
Because our rules that we created for ourselves are not the same rules that God has created for us.
Mhm.
God is more complex. He's a lot more. He's on a different playing field.
Am I live? I'm here
very
myself.
useful
That's
to play.
awful.
Oh, 1 second. I'm gonna fix that. 1 second. 1 second.
I just want to throw out while you're fixing that. I'm going to take this out of my ear because I can't handle hearing my own stupid fucking voice. But like, I was listening a little bit before I came in, and I heard this argument about whether or not God creates suffering and everything like that. My brother, have you heard of Isaiah 45:7? I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things.
Go ahead. I know that.
Okay, hold on. I just need to.
Now everything's going.
Yeah. You guys got to give me a second now. I haven't had a co-host since I switched all my vMix stuff, so I'm gonna just.
Why we have
Everybody here.
Oh yeah, because it was really funny that you didn't want to talk to Forrest, and now Forrest wanted to talk to you, the evolutionary biologist. Everybody, welcome Forrest Valkai. He wanted to. He wanted to say.
I'm not talking to two people.
I don't know.
I
heard
the
issue.
I heard him earlier saying that he would
If
just
that's the
leave
case,
long
if that's the case,
so
I'm just gonna hang up.
If that's the case, you're
If
just
that's
you're not.
the
Wait.
case, I'm gonna hang
Hold
up.
on. Whoa. You're confused here
No.
because you're not gonna talk to two
I'm making
people.
my stance.
You're only going to talk to
I'm
me.
making my stance. No. I'm making my stance. It's either one person.
Exactly. You are only going to talk to one person. No, you're only going to talk to one person. You're only going to talk to one person. There's only one person.
Then I'm gone.
There's only one person you're going to talk to. It's just not me.
And it needs to be you. It needs to be you.
No.
Chris, just to be clear,
I'm not going to have
offer
two different. I'm not going to have two different discussions going in two different directions. It's not going to happen.
No,
you're not going to have two different discussions.
I agree. I also don't want to have two different discussions in two different directions. He offers to stop talking and let you just talk to me for a
either one
minute.
person or I'm done.
It is one person. I don't know which one.
Let me just ask you a question. Let me just ask you really quickly.
I'm just not going to do it. I'm making my stance.
That's fine, Chris. You make that stance.
The person who just answered, is he going to hang up or I'm done? That's fine.
I just want to ask about your stance that you just
took. You want to make. I made my
Chris,
stance.
I want to ask about that stance. We don't have to have that conversation.
Are you guys?
I just want to ask about that stance.
Are you guys going to respect? I'm willing to talk. I'm willing to talk to that one person. Are you guys going to
Yes.
Are you guys going to respect that? My stance on that. If not, I'm going to hang up.
No, we are going to respect your stance on that. You are now talking to me, one person, and I just have a question about your stance that you just laid out.
No, I'm not going to talk to a different person. I'm not going to talk to a different person.
The question that I had, and I'm just going to throw it out there. You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
I'm not doing tag team here. This is tag team here. This is not tag team. What I respect.
I'm just going to ask a question, and you don't have to answer to. But I think it's an important question. Is that Jovan was asked to talk to you about evolution and radiometric dating. You and he had a disagreement about it. I'm trained in this area. So Jovan has offered to step aside for a second and let me talk to you one-on-one. Do you think that it would be more productive to talk to me one-on-one for a second? Or do you think that it would be more productive for two people who don't have any training in this area to talk about what they don't understand in this area and nobody learns anything new? Like, do you see why he brought me in? It's not to tag team or to gang up on you. It's just that this is something he's not expertise in and something that I can help out with. And I'm willing to answer questions, just you and I. Do you see how that's beneficial for everybody, including you?
You know, I do a lot of stuff with Purdue University, and I have
don't
all
work
the.
with Purdue University.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I have the access to a lot of different professors in a lot of different academic areas.
Okay.
If I really wanted to look into it, I would. I looked into it 12 years ago. I looked into it 12 years ago.
You're making these big claims about it, though.
Hold on. in order for me to actually get more deeper into this, I would have to dig out my notes. I would have to dig out my notes.
You don't have to.
To look at.
You don't have to just have a casual conversation about it. What I got is Jovan. I was sitting in the other room, and Jovan just texted me and said, "I'm arguing with a Christian that doesn't believe in carbon dating," and I just texted back, "Let me in there." And so, like, if you have an issue with carbon dating, or I'm guessing evolution as well, we don't have to have an academic discussion about it. I can just take your questions.
Hold on, because you said something that is wrong. I don't disagree with carbon dating at all. I just don't believe that we have existed long enough to know that it works in the long time effect.
Also, for everybody saying, I did just really quickly, guys. I did see you guys do the Shadow Realm stuff, but I gotta let this play out. So we'll talk about that in a second.
So the issue here, the issue with what you just said, Chris, is that we don't have to be around. Respected. Well, no, it's not your stance wasn't respected. He brought in somebody who could talk about this, and what you just said doesn't make any sense.
Great day. God bless you,
Chris. What you just said doesn't make any sense because you don't have to be around a long time to see if it works that way.
I'm going to do volunteer twice as hard now because supposedly I'm serving an evil God that is so terrible.
Chris, I promise you, I'm going to lead at least 5 times as many people away from Christ as you will lead to them. That's not what we're talking about here. You just said that we can't know that carbon dating is real because we haven't been around long enough to see it.
Chris, just relax, bud. Chris, just listen for a second.
And take care of other people.
Chris, just listen for a second. Just listen for a second, Chris. He ran.
Don't forget to take your ball on the way home. But like, fuck, dude. Like the last thing he said there, he's saying my stance wasn't respected. He said something that didn't make any fucking sense. He said we haven't been around long enough to see if carbon dating works. First of all, carbon dating is the only form of radiometric dating there is, y'all. Like, we can use lots of different radioactive isotopes for lots of different age ranges. Carbon dating only works back to about 50,000 years. So we would want to use other things for older dates. I don't know what the original hang-up was about this. But, like, there's a lot of different ages and a lot of different ranges we can cover with a lot of different dating methods. And the key is we don't just use one. We'll use multiple of these dating methods to overlap and try to make sure that we're, getting into the right zone. And also, carbon dating and potassium argon and argon and all these different uranium, all these different types of things we use for these days. These are all just still also one kind of dating. Radiometric dating is one kind of what we call absolute dating methods. There are other absolute dating methods like fission track dating and electron spin resonance dating. And then there are also relative dating methods, which instead of just giving us an absolute number, they're relative to other things. Index fossils, paleofaunal dating, fluorine dating, paleomagnetism. Like, these are all different types of dating methods. And again, you use multiple of them and overlap them. The problem with what Chris said, saying that we haven't been around long enough to see if they work, first of all, there are some of these things that go back millions and billions of years. We figure this shit out through math. We can test these decay rates in a laboratory setting, and then that establishes a half-life, and that allows us to then make novel predictions about the decay rates about these things, and it fucking works. The most important thing to remember is that it works. The entire fossil fuel industry is reliant upon radiometric dating because they can go back and they can do radiometric dating on rocks, and they can say, okay, this area is now, this is like material from the Carboniferous period. We can dig here and we will probably find coal, oil, natural gas, whatever, and it works. There actually was a creationist fossil fuel company that opened at one time. I forgot what the fuck it was called, but they used biblical models to try to go dig for. Guess who went bankrupt real quick? It was them. Radiometric dating not only is something that is like backed really, really well and proven to work really, really well, it fucking actually like makes the entire industry of nuclear physics, fossil fuels, geology, all rely on this making sense. And what a lot of creationists do is they'll point to, there was this one study back in 1992 by the Institute for Creation Research, super non-biased source, I know, The Institute for Creation Research did a study back in 1992 where they went to Mount St. Helens, and they picked up some rocks that had just come out of that volcano 6 years prior. And they saw if they could use radiometric dating to measure a 6-year-old rock and get an age of 6 years. But they used fucking potassium argon dating, which measures things in the billions of years. And so naturally, they got a result that was like millions and millions of years old because they essentially measured something the width of a human hair in football fields, and it didn't fucking work. Surprise. And so all this is to say, I would have been really happy to talk to Chris about how radiometric dating works, about what we're actually measuring, about like how long we could know how old things are, different measuring, different techniques of dating. I would be happy to talk about my research, looking at ancient ecosystems and figuring out different stuff using stable isotopes as opposed to radioisotopes. Like, we could have covered a lot of different things, but Chris, I think, really just didn't want to have a conversation with somebody who knew what they were talking about. He wanted to argue with someone who was, at least in his perception, as ignorant as he was, so that nobody would call them out on their bullshit. Jovan is just honest enough to say, hey, this is not an area that I'm trained in. Let's talk to somebody who knows some shit, as anybody who's fucking intellectually honest would be. So, like, I don't know, man. I would take Jovan's opinion on radiometric dating over Chris's, even knowing that the man doesn't have any training in the area, because at least he's got the spine to say, I don't know this thing. That's huge. But for Chris to say, I have connections with some academics. Oh, great. That's neato. I too once walked through a college campus. Not going to sit here and make big ass claims about things I have no training in online. But that's just me. Thanks for having me on, Jovan.
Forrest,
yeah.
The way he was so confident until I said, well, I happen to know an evolutionary biologist. I can get them on the phone. I can't wait for you to see the call prior to.
I saw a little bit of the clip. I didn't see him talking about radiometric dating, but when I tuned in, I pulled up your stream so I get the live chat and everything like that. I heard that immediate like shriveling where you were like, I can call a guy. And by the way,
I do want to,
just to be clear, evolutionary biology is a lot of my background, but it's just one of the things that I do. Like, I'm an integrative biologist. So like, there are people out there that really hardcore specialize in evolution. They could do this way better than me. But even with like, as an integrative biologist, where like all of my undergrad degrees are focused on evolution, and my first master's was focused on evolution as well, I would still be sitting here telling you guys, I'm not an expert in this area. Like, I'm not the smartest person in the room. There's no fucking way I can say that there's people who don't know this shit way better than I do. Like, I'm gonna miss some shit. I'm gonna make some mistakes. I happen to study this shit for a long time. If you have anybody that's sitting here saying that they know this front and back and they can never be wrong, or making really bold claims about an area that they have no training in on a live debate show, maybe just notice the red flags is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's it.
I do want to say, Yolanda and Alyssa, I saw you guys both paid to move on from the guest. Obviously, that didn't happen because it was just way too funny. So if you guys would like to just comment on your Venmos and just let me know if you want me to send it back, and I'll send it right back. Because I don't want to keep, if you guys, because I didn't partake, but if you're like, keep it anyway, Jovan, then W. But Forrest, I'm sure you are very busy. Doing whatever you were doing.
Very busy. Very good. I'm having a party right now, actually. We just ordered a shit ton of IHOP, and I was raising a shot glass to my lips when you texted me, and I was like, guys, hold the fuck on. I'll be right back in 10 minutes. I gotta go do a live stream. I'm gonna go eat pancakes and get fucked up and celebrate.
All right, Forrest, you be good. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. See you later, y'all. Never stop learning. Say hi to Jovan for me.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, fuck. Oh my god, dude. Now to address some chuckle fuck in the Instagram chat who said Jovan's a fucking lib. Homie, I'm a staunch fucking communist. He said Jovan only engages with libs. literally my two closest streaming friends are both socialists. The fuck is you talking about? I read theory for breakfast. Get the fuck out of here. He defends liberalism. Bitch, where? I literally talk about capitalism constantly. Bitch, where? Shut the fuck up. Oh man, that was so good. Hey guys, 219-327-8005 if you want to debate. We still got tons of time. I'm wide awake after that fucking call. Oh my god, what a god, what do I title that one? Jesus. Okay, I need someone to Photoshop. Okay, I need somebody to Photoshop a Pawn Stars meme where it's Chris and it's oh, I see. Christian, he said, you also defended Joe Biden several times and admitted to supporting lesser evilism. Eat my fucking ass. I support my people not dying. Eat my ass. Shove it up your fucking dick hole. Just admit you don't give a fuck about people and you are okay with them dying. Okay? Thanks. Great. Just admit that. Great. Now, what I will do is I will compare Joe Biden as president to Donald Trump as president. But I don't suck the dick of Joe Biden. I hate the old motherfucker as much as I hate Trump. You are just an idiot who fucking fakes revolutionary. And that's my issue with fucking online leftists who fake revolution because they are fucking too fucking sad about themselves. I don't know. Maybe I'm sick of watching my people die, and I know that just statistically, less of my people die under Democratic presidencies. Now, if you want to suggest to me a different candidate that was going to win the election, I'm fucking all ears. But don't play this little fucking bullshit ass shit with me. Don't try it. You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about the actual working class people. You don't give a fuck about any of it. Unbelievable, bro. Fucking fake revolutionaries are so fucking goddamn annoying. And you know half of them are fucking white. Half the time it's a white person arguing with me about this shit. 9 times out of 10, it's always from a fucking... There's no way this nigga is calling back. There's no way he's calling back. Say I won't. Say I won't. Say I won't. Say I won't. There's no way, bro. There's no way. The Democrats lost because people didn't vote, you fucking moron. All right, I'm just blocking you and moving on. It's not worth my fucking time. Like, who are you? You're literally nothing to me. It's not worth my time, bro. Bro, there's no way he's calling back. There's no way, bro. Okay. Homie called me a coward, so call in. I'm not the coward. You can pick up the phone. The number's right there. I won't block you yet. Call in. Do it. Call in. If I'm the coward, call in. Real easy. It's real easy to have them fucking Twitter fingers running. Pick up the phone. Defend yourself. Let's go. Let's fucking do it. Or shut the fuck up. Those are your options. You can pick up the phone or you can shut the fuck up. Oh no, I'm literally a... There's no way, dude. What a fucking crazy day, bro. What a crazy day. Okay, Forrest just said tell him to do his homework. I don't really feel like I need to spend another 50 minutes with Chris just to have Chris not tell me shit. You know? I would have just had Forrest answer the call. I would have just taken my camera would have been gone. You wouldn't even see me anymore, chat. It would have been Forrest's show for a second. Fake Twitter revolutionaries over Rip as manifesto. Listen, so I went to the socialism conference in 2025, okay? And part of my biggest issue while I was there and talking to people was so many people, it was giving me that like vibe of like, I don't care about the practicality of the policies that I'm pushing for. I don't care about how this affects people going forward. I don't care about building up significant mutual aid networks to keep people safe. It was just, I want a revolution. And that's the shit I don't fuck with. I don't fuck with that shit. That shit is fucking ass, bro. I missed a bunch of super chats. Let's take a call. We'll do the super chats at the end. We'll take a call. We'll move to the next caller. Notice the motherfucker on Instagram makes that shit now. All right. All right, coming up next is Sunil. Sunil wants to talk about topic number 2, no compelling external evidence for Christianity, or possibly just God. We're going to find out. Sunil, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
I'm 31. I'm he, him.
Okay. And Sunil, are you religious?
Yeah, I'm religious.
Okay, what religion do you practice?
I'm Christian.
Okay. Well, Sunil, I don't think there's any compelling external evidence for Christianity. Do you have any compelling external evidence for Christianity?
Yeah, I don't think the existence of God is relevant because the religion led to the creation of civilization. If I can, prove to you that it did lead to the creation of civilization, then it gives it some credibility that it has its place in society.
But I'm not arguing whether it has a place in society. I'm arguing whether it's true or not.
Okay, but neither of us can prove nor disprove God. But in the Bible, it says, "By their fruits you shall know them." So, by the effects of the Christian faith and the belief system, you will know God. Is my claim, and I can lay out the argument for that.
I'm sorry. Is this going to be external evidence for the truth claims of Christianity?
Okay, what would you constitute as, first of all, there is scientific truth and there is wisdom. Like there is no amount of scientific inquiry which will allow you to make decisions in life. Like what scientific rules will allow you to make judgments in life? What is the scientific basis for not doing something wrong?
Sunil, I don't care about making judgments, right? I don't care about any of that. I care about are the claims that Christianity makes about the world true? Those claims would be that Jesus is divine and was the Son of God and resurrected after crucifixion. Are those claims true? If those claims are false, then Christianity is built on a lie, which I believe it's built on a lie because I don't believe those claims to be true.
But those aren't claims in the Bible. It's a story in the Bible.
Those are claims.
And there are rules in the Bible you need to follow. And I can tell you the rules are true.
Sunil, those are all claims made. Those are all claims about the Christian faith. You cannot be a Christian if you don't believe Christ is divine. If you don't believe Christ is divine, then you could be a litany of other religions.
Well, no one would follow Christ if he wasn't divine.
Tons of. I'm sorry.
Why would you follow Christ if he was?
Do you believe
you know,
Muhammad
demonic?
was? Do you believe Muhammad was divine?
To a certain degree, yes.
Like what degree? The same as Christ?
Not the same because I'm Christian. If
But
I
why
was
did-
Muslim,
why did
yes,
people-
I would
but
think
why did- so why
Muhammad
did
is also divine to an extent.
Okay, but then why did
there
people
is a lot
follow
of similarities
him? Was
between
Joseph
Christianity and
Smith
Islam.
divine? Was Joseph Smith divine?
Was Joseph Smith divine?
Yeah. Your claim was, why would people follow Christ if he wasn't divine? There are tons of non-divine people that people follow. That's a non-claim. I would need external or compelling external evidence for Christianity's belief, which you don't have.
Wait, give me a chance, right? Let me try to lay out
If
the
you have
argument.
if you have the evidence, I'll write down your argument. I've got a keyboard in
Would you?
Google Doc right here.
Okay, like 9 of the 10 top countries that allow immigration from other faiths are Christian. One is the UAE. So the Christian faith allows more diversity of thought than any other belief system, including atheism. Even atheism, I believe if there's a country that was atheist,
I don't care.
they wouldn't allow other faiths.
I don't care.
If you look at the facts,
Sunil, I don't care.
but
Sunil,
but you do care about inclusion, right?
Sunil,
and this is inclusion.
Sunil, none of this tells me whether Christianity is true. This is all not. This is all.
Can I try again?
If you want to actually give me something that proves Christianity, you going, well, there are Christian nations. I don't disagree, and I don't disagree that Christianity is a religion. I disagree with the truth claims Christianity as a faith makes. You'd have to prove those truth claims.
But you are saying that it's a truth claim, but you're confusing the parables with the rules, which I don't know how to explain that to you. But
do you believe do you believe Jesus Christ was the Son of God?
Or my faith compels me to believe it, yes.
Then that is a truth claim. That's a truth claim your faith is compelling you to make, because your faith is foundationally built on a truth claim. So you got to prove that truth claim.
No, it's not foundationally built on that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, it is. What? Wait, I'm sorry. Christianity is built on Christ the Messiah. Otherwise, you wouldn't be a Christian. You would be something else.
Okay. But it's only not the resurrection that is Christianity. Christianity is a vast body of work. It's a very large belief system, and it is a very valid belief system. And first, we need to discuss why belief systems are important.
No, we don't. Because I don't care why belief systems are important. That has nothing to do with the conversation.
Because then you don't care why I'm a Christian. Because that is why I'm a Christian. Because
Sunil, I don't care why you are a Christian. I don't actually. I could give 7 shits why you're a Christian.
Why are you an atheist then?
Because there is no compelling external evidence for Christianity.
Okay, what would be the compelling evidence if you found conclusive proof that he did exist, and if he was resurrected? Then you would agree. You would suddenly become Christian, is it?
I don't deny Christ existed. I'm agnostic on it, but I like. Could Christ have existed? Yeah, absolutely. It's fully plausible that a person named Jesus Christ existed.
If he resurrected or walked on water, would you then be Christian?
If it was proven to me that
Why
Christ
would that
resurrected,
make you Christian?
If it was because
that is irrelevant. That doesn't guide your actions. That doesn't regulate your emotion.
I'm not talking about my
water.
Sunil,
does not affect you in any way.
Sunil, I need you to have some impulse control, okay? Because you're not listening.
Okay,
you have a script, and you're waiting to go on your script instead of listening in the conversation. I don't have
a script. I'm just talking to you impromptu.
I don't think you know what I mean by script. I don't care.
Go ahead,
Christians could be the most benevolent people on the planet. It could be the case that every single Christian ever was the nicest human being to ever live, because the belief system just creates empathy. I still wouldn't be Christian, because in order to be Christian, I would have to believe that Christ was a divine figure, Son of God, and the Messiah. But I don't believe that. And if somebody were to say, hey, here is irrefutable proof that Christ is the Son of God, Well, now, because I have irrefutable proof of the position, I'm gonna believe in Christianity because I'm going to believe that Christ is Son of God because that's what Christianity posits. Now, whether I follow his teachings or not, whole fucking different ball game. I don't care about any of that. I care about, are you basing your life around what is essentially a lie? Which you would be if you believe Christ to be the Son of God.
Okay, can I answer?
Sure.
So you said that you don't care if every Christian on the world are great people, and as long as he's not the Son of God, essentially. But that does matter. The world needs good people, even if that is if it's true or false. Good people at the end of the day is a good thing. Why wouldn't you want that?
Because it's not the topic of debate here. There were
So
good
just want
people
to
that
know
existed
if
before.
he was the Son of God, but that is
there were
irrelevant.
good
If
people,
it creates good,
Sunil, there were good people before.
You want good,
there
or
were
do you
good
want to know
people,
the scientific basis of whether he existed or no?
Sunil, there were good
You
people
need
that
to answer
existed
that.
before
You don't want
Christian.
good people in the world?
Sunil, I'm gonna have to mute you because fucking impulse control is just something you lack. There were good people in this world before Christianity. There will be good people in this world after Christianity. It is not a requirement that you need Christianity to be a good person. And I would argue that what we actually see in like America is the opposite. That Christianity, especially Christian nationalism, leads to like irrevocable harms. So no, the debate topic at hand was there's no compelling external evidence for Christianity. So either you have that or you called in to preach. And I don't give a fuck about preaching. I will just drop you if that's the case. So if you want to engage in the debate, engage in the actual debate topic.
Okay, I'll just put out one other fact out there, okay? Human beings have been around for 200,000 years. Christianity has existed for only 2,000 years.
Bye. That's not the topic, Sunil. See ya. Goodbye. What the fuck, bro? Jesus Christ. Of which I don't believe in. It's not the topic. I know I could have kept that going for 10 more minutes and gotten $20, but I'm not doing that to myself. Sometimes my time is way more valuable than you guys paying to boot somebody. Like, fuck. I don't really want to, like... Like, he couldn't get off his script, bro. I don't do scripts. Well, that's not true. But your script needs to be fucking flexible. I'm remembering that I have to be in fucking Orlando by 10 o'clock tomorrow to record the dump. And I am fucking not asleep right now. I don't know what, like, here, let's just find out. Let's just see. Let's just see. Chris, I don't know what you're calling in about after you just like ran so heavily less than a half hour ago.
So really quick, this is the guy that I was talking to not too long ago.
This is Chris, who I just spoke to.
Yeah, so this is the same person. I want to apologize because the last thing I want to do is waste people's time, but I'm currently, trying to learn how to debate more. So I apologize if I'm wasting time. The actual truth is, I'm not MAGA. I'm trans. I'm a man. I'm a male to female trans woman, post-op. I debate a lot of MAGA people, and I was trying to really use their logic somehow, and I was hoping it was going to go one way, and it turned out not going that way. We're sticking on the subject that I didn't really want to stick on, but and I don't like to really lie to people without giving the opportunity for the truth to be there. So I wanted to apologize, but also to state that it was very entertaining, and if possible, I'm going to go ahead and send you $20 for your time, and really thank you for all of it. So, but I wanted to leave it at that. Thank you very much, and yeah, very entertaining though.
Okay.
So we good, or I'm apologizing. I didn't want anybody to call. I don't want you guys to call me back, like, you know, try to do another debate or anything like that. But I just wanted to clear the air. It was something I thought about doing for a long time, but I just never really did. And saw you, and I've never seen you before, but figured I'd try it. But
Uh-huh.
it's kind of
So,
hard to argue with people under MAGA kind of like logic, to be honest.
but you were arguing with me about Christianity.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was hoping it was going to get into MAGA. When I originally talked to the first guy, I had basically said, can't we just talk about a little bit of everything? And I figured Christianity was a good leeway into it. And
But if you wanted to talk about
he made
MAGA,
it sound like,
why didn't you do like one of the MAGA
well, he made it sound like we would have talked about just about anything we wanted to talk about.
Uh-huh.
So he wasn't real clear that I was going to stick on that one subject or not like that. And all I know is as I'm talking, I'm sitting there thinking, I can't get myself out of this one conversation for some reason. Because I'm wanting to pivot towards MAGA a little bit. But yeah, it's kind of weird, but so like I said, I apologize if I wasted your time.
Can I give you some unsolicited advice for the future? If you're genuinely interested in debating, it might not be the best idea to call somebody and like spend 50 minutes, you know, lying to them, right? Like it doesn't really do much for any of us. And like, yeah.
Well, perhaps. And like I said, that's why I'm calling to apologize. But like, it's just something that bugs me. Like, what would it be like to try to debate as a MAGA person? And
sorry, what's your actual name?
my actual name is Christina.
Okay. Christina. Okay. Yeah,
but
like I'll just be honest, I have a pretty staunch rule on LARPing because I just, you know, it just sort of wastes.
But that's fair enough. Like I said, I've thought about it for a long time. Because like I said, I do debates with a lot of MAGA people. I do. And there's just a lot of rebuttals that they have that just aren't really good enough. And I'm sitting there thinking, I can make your rebuttals a lot more better than you can.
Well, I will say you did fail in that aspect.
Well, no, I was hoping to get to the MAGA part. The Christian part, I'm not really efficient.
But that's what I'm so that's why I'm confused
part.
here, Christina, because I have MAGA topics. So it's like if you're not good at like you could have literally just started with the MAGA topic. I'm so lost.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Like I probably could have said MAGA. It was something to do with MAGA, but he's thrown like 4 different subjects at me, and I said, can't we just talk about just anything we want? And he was like, no, we got to choose from this list. But yeah, you basically could go anywhere you want. He wasn't real clear that it was going to be sticking to one subject, but all I know is I did kind of want to try to leave the Christian part of it because most MAGA people, are Christian themselves.
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to try to sell a MAGA perspective to begin with.
Well, why?
Well, because I'm simply trying to find rebuttals for a lot of the rebuttals that, you know, I've created for them. I used to work in a call center, and I would have to rebuttal anytime somebody had a question or inquiry about a particular issue. And I would always come up with rebuttals, and I came up with a lot of rebuttals just in case MAGA had ever asked me those rebuttals. And basically, I'm just trying to get answers on a lot of the rebuttals that I've created. But
so I just
But anyways, like I said, I apologize for wasting your time. I'll go ahead and pay you some money.
Okay.
Pay you for.
It's fine.
And yeah. Please have a great day. Be safe.
Okay.
And good luck with everything.
Sure, you too.
All right. Bye.
Hey, do me a favor. Don't do what that person did. Okay? Just like yeah. How do I continue? How do I continue from that? I need a fucking reset. I need to reset my brain after that one. I'm gonna be honest. I think that's a good stopping point for stream today. I think I'll just do the super chats and call it a fucking day. I don't think my brain is working anymore. So let's just do our fucking super chat.
Because. Yeah. 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 Anyway. Fauna Makes, thank you for the super chat, said message Lux back, it wants to stream you so bad. I have messaged Lux. And then I forgot to message Lux after it sent a response. So I will message Lux, and me and Lux will come up with a plan for when I get back from New York to stream together. Why isn't Chris Muslim? Well, apparently Chris was lying. But thank you for the super chat, JP Bishi. A Pazman said, it's the year 3220 and wizards are real because my holy book of Harry Potter mentions King's Cross Station, and that has been proven to be a real place. Oh man. Asking about the dinosaurs on the art. Well, these are all about Chris, and Chris lied to us, so. Tell Chris before Erica. Oh. About dinosaurs, well. This portion of today's show has been brought to you by Obama's the only other black man I can think of a name. $20 to boot. You never responded to me, Vampy. If you want me to send that back to you, just let me know. A hot dog is a hot submarine sandwich. Thank you, Bubug. I can agree, but it's also a taco. Emerald donating to Chris's soapbox fund. Crazy. Cheese Dwarf, thank you for the super chat. And Spitfire, thank you for the super chat. I'm fucking hooked right now. Get some sleep, buddy. Safe travels tomorrow. I'm traveling to Orlando tomorrow, but that's just because I'm going to the studio to film the weekly now. Hot dog is the sausage, not the actual bun with it. Yes, but it's both. Hold on, I need to
ungod myself for this. Cereal, because you have to think of it like cereal. Think of a hot dog like cereal. If I have a handful of just loose Captain Crunch, I have a handful of cereal. But cereal is also the combination of milk and cereal. So a hot dog is not only just the sausage, but also the full completed meal.
Solo in your verse said, barely heard the call, still crazy. I agree. And Micah Clark said, ciao for the night. I wish I could have this voice filter in customer service. I feel like you could if you tried hard enough.
All right, y'all. I'm fucking clocked out. I'm cooked. What a fucking day. Instagram, thanks for hanging out with us today. YouTube, thanks for hanging out with us today. Twitch, thanks for hanging out with us today. So sorry. We didn't have time to get to Andrew Wilson again. Andrew Wilson keeps calling in, but we just don't have the time to get to him. Maybe next show. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will see everybody on the flip.